Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Let It Be Thunder episode 14. Because last week was episode 13. I remembered because we thought it was unlucky, but everything went really well. Nobody died. There was no explosions. I think Pete even kept all of his eyebrows.
And we and we forced our one of our co-hosts to marry his in-game girlfriend.
Just to propose, the marriage doesn't have to happen. Just the proposal.
Yeah, we'll get
Also-
Kelsey killed before then.
And then
Wow.
I mean, she's technically already died once, so it's not anything new.
I've got the Buffy the
one
Vampire
shot,
Slayer
yeah.
song going through my head
Hey,
now.
I've died
Hey, I've
twice."
died twice.
We're gonna Buffy Kelsey.
Yeah. Before
how
we venture
disrespectful.
any further into the chaos, we haven't even introduced ourselves. Let's start with that. And the individual on the top left corner of the screen in all of his Power Ranger glory.
Oh, I have green shit still. Hello, I am Michael. I'll be playing Peter, singular, the White Ranger, because I am now one person again, which is nice.
Hello, I am Burger King enjoyer Hiss Panic at the Disco. Enjoying the fact that I have Burger King while our DM does not. I play Cal the Purple Ranger.
Amazing.
Played.
Oh, I am the other Michael, Sarah, the Pink Ranger, and I'm getting married, I guess.
No
In
choice
the
in the
morning,
matter.
ding dong, the bells are going to shine. Hi, I'm Jay, and I will be playing Q, the Gold Ranger, who will not be masquerading as a ring for this wedding.
I mean, not with that attitude, he won't.
No, absolutely, 100%.
And last and not least,
Least,
or least. Okay, see, I was going to be positive for a change. Apparently, last and least, I am Matthew, and I am the GM, the NPCs, the cursed dice roller of doom.
that's why you were least. It's like
And the
that.
Machine...
that's fair.
Hey, we can't knock him. He's also the Machine Empire, who is Davy Jones's favorite character.
Yeah, I'm also the Machine Empire, which is Davy Jones's favorite character. All of them.
Considering how much shade we threw at the Machine Empire, meh.
Yeah, they did so badly. I feel really guilty for that as well. Yeah.
I mean, look, they messed us up at first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is true. They did do a little bit
But-
of damage at first. Although I feel like most of the messing up was the explosions of their vehicles as you destroyed them.
Yeah,
It was rough.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jack?
Jix.
Venjix, General
They-
Venjix.
General Venjix did a. I'm not-
Careful.
I was just about to swear, but I'm not going to. Did some shenanigans to our lovely Pink Ranger.
I remember that one.
She did get those hands.
Yeah.
This is true.
I was going to say something that begins with an F and ends with an fucking.
The whole goddamn word! Fire truckening. There we go.
Before we go any further into the shenanigans, very quick recap for last week. Pete grew a backbone and told his grandmother, who he only recently found out about.
20.
No,
I would like to say he found his confidence, but grew a backbone. Fine.
I will not be king.
I
Um,
just
Can't wait to be
wait
king.
to not be
apparently.
king.
I
he can wait to
just
be king.
can't wait.
So I'd like to
Long live the
retcon that
Queen.
entire conversation, and Pete actually said, "Yeah, sure."
No. Nobody else really did anything. It was all Pete.
It wasn't a lot
Sarah-
of me.
Sarah didn't
Like-
propose. That didn't happen.
I'm
Sarah
so sorry
proposed,
to everyone.
I jumped out a window.
Yeah. Cal jumped out a window.
To get
It was
away
either
from
that
it.
or get a cool new outfit.
Oh, we
I
got
mean,
homework. God damn it.
yeah. It was either get a cool new outfit or jump out of a window. What was Cal gonna do with himself?
Throw myself out a window.
Close the window. Throw yourself out the window.
Oh no, that honestly might have been like my favorite above table bit. Just like, what were you gonna do if the window was open? I would have thrown myself through the wall. I would have like avoided the open window and just crashed through the wall. A hole is being made.
Yeah, they met the royal tailor, who is making them all lovely outfits for their trip back to Earth as a thank you from the court. And yeah, thanks for saving the planet. Here's some cool threads. Apparently, that's how they do on Triforia.
When I am king, I will change that.
Good thing you're not gonna be king.
Yeah, it is a pretty good thing you're not going to be king. But
Thank you, fire. Yes, defenestrate. Defenestration.
yeah, I don't think that really anything else major happened.
We combined the beats again, but that's not. That was the lead up to talking to his nan for the first time. So
Yeah, really anything else major happened.
we combined the beats again, but that's not. That was the lead up to talking to his nan for the first time. So
Yeah, really anything else major happened.
so Sarah.
But that's not. That was the lead up to
Michael
talking.
H. We can.
Who's got
It's
Damn it.
Expensive
We
deja
can, we
vu.
can we can hear you have the stream open.
The one time it doesn't auto mute itself.
Because I just stare at the green circle around your name as I hear my voice again.
Well, that solved that problem. I was like, who's got
That
Twitch
was moving
open?
Michael suddenly got really good at ventriloquism. Like,
Okay, this is the second time in 2 days one of my friends has been like, I'm gonna learn to mimic your voice.
We will jump in then. All of the measurements have been taken, sizes have been taken, outfits are being prepped and made. But it's okay because the Rangers are off to bed. Even cows come back in, having seen the proposal. And
Having stopped Pete from jump hugging
having
the
stopped
proposal.
Pete from running through
Naked.
the room in his towel. Yep.
I forgot I did
And we'll skip forward like the evening. So it's the next morning. Everybody is refreshed, revitalized, re-energized, feeling a bit healthier. Like you've maybe all of this fighting's bolstered your constitution, if constitution was a thing in E20. Your conditioning.
Assuming it is.
Yeah. We're going to start off with Mercutio. Q, for those who don't know him by his full first name.
Sorry, I was burping.
I thought you was going to practice ventriloquism then. Mercutio, you've had all your measurements taken. You've got your outfit being created for you, but that's okay. You don't have to pick it up for a couple of hours, or it's not being delivered for a couple of hours. You've got some time before you're all heading off planet. Nothing really moves quickly when you have to wait for the Queen to see to all of the business she needs to see to. All of the courtiers and everybody needs to gather. And what would you like to do?
I'm not sure. I think Q will probably retire back to the ship, back to his quarters, to spend some time looking at the videos that Santa gave him for Christmas.
Have you got the VHS set up?
Yeah.
As we covered, it does have this very strange combination of wires that allows the VHS to be set up into the television, the monitor and everything in the room.
A bit like it's got a cable like the Navi tails in
Yeah.
Avatar.
It's
You
got
fold
like
it
a
up to it,
cable
it's
that
got
plugs into another cable, that, yeah.
7 dongles and a
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it should work. It doesn't even look like it should be a thing, but it works. You plug it in, and is there a particular VHS cassette that you pick, or
How many are there?
probably about 20?
They're all Old Yeller.
I'll pick the 8th one down.
You'll pick the 8th one down. The 8th one down is. It says first steps.
Right, so that should be 5, 6, 7, 8. I remember the choreography for that one. Yeah, so I slide it out of its box and pop it in the slot. Or go to pop it in the slot, yeah.
You pop it in. It
Is it
whirs
rewound?
through. I was going to do that. It whirs through and it just clicks. It's the end of the film at first, and then it just starts rewinding. At least this VHS does have a rewinder. You don't have to take it out and manually rewind the cassette. It takes a few seconds. You can hear it rewinding, whirring away, and then it just clicks and starts playing again. It's a bit staticky at first. There's a few seconds where whoever is holding the video camera has the lens on, and then you can see the lens being removed, fingers moving out of the way as they take the lens cap off. And you remember, it's one of your old houses. It's pretty bright. Looks like the sun might be in the sky from one of the windows that you can see. It's causing a bit of distortion in the tape, which is quite old itself. And gods know where it was stored for Santa to have gotten a hold of it.
The North Pole, obviously.
Oh, my apologies. Clearly the North Pole. The cold clearly didn't do very well for the cassette.
It's
You
that the
see,
penguin.
it's a bit jumpy, and you see a kid. He's holding onto one of those kind of like walking toys. It's all plastic. It's got wheels, and it's making clicky noises as he's pushing it along. And he sort of stumbles, and as he stumbles, he pushes it too far, and it goes wheeling away. It just click, 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 and it bumps into the couch
Does he
and
go
tips over.
face first?
He stumbles forwards a few steps and sort of stops, sort of catches his balance a little bit. You see him wavering like he's going to fall over, and kind of looks at the camera. Looks like he's going to cry, and then starts to take a step towards the walking frame, the walking toy, and then takes another step, and it's like a lumbering run in that way that kids do when they're first learning to walk, because they get the motion, but they don't know how to stop. And it's that quick sort of boom, 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 hits the sofa, bounces off onto its rear end, and then starts bawling. And then you see another kid, looks to be about the same age, take another step, like take a step out of what appears to be a kitchen. The camera zooms in as it takes another lumbering step. Two more, and then kind of falls forward on its face. Camera gets dropped, and you can tell this because of the way it kind of somersaults in the air, hits the floor. It's still recording sideways, and you see your dad go rushing to the kids, scooping one up and then the other. He's just kind of like bouncing them on his hips, and it's okay, everything's fine. See, no bruises, no broken bones, just everybody falls over sometimes. And then the tape goes black.
Have I lost audio?
I mean,
Nope.
no,
I hear
we
you.
can hear. We can hear you.
Have you lost audio? Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just stopped talking.
I said the
I was
tape
like,
goes black. It's like everything happens. Dad picks him up, sort of bounces on the shoulder,
oh, right.
on his hips, telling him everything's okay, and then the
The
tape goes
universe
black.
is black.
Whatever was
Okay.
happening, it's like the recording stops, or the cap gets put back on the camera, so that the rest of the recording just kind of fades off.
I just hold down the fast forward button to see if there's any more footage later in the tape or anything.
You hold the fast forward that button down for a few seconds. Make me a initiative check or a finesse check, or even a technology check.
Initiative is in non-combat initiative.
Yeah,
I'm going to do that, obviously.
I was trying to think. Yeah, the sort of more appropriate. And if you ask me if it's dance related, I am going to say no. I was just going to throw something at you, but I can't throw that far.
That is a 29.
29. You see a flash of something and manage to hit play just in time to see someone taking a lens cap back
Okay,
off.
rewind.
Yep. You see that someone take the lens cap back off and looks into the camera just to make sure everything's okay. Kind of rubs at the lens, and you see your mother's face. She's staring into the camera, sort of angling it round. Whoever put the lens cap back on clearly forgot to actually hit pause or stop recording or anything like that, because it's been recording just black since they put the lens cap on after it had fallen or been dropped. She sort of looks at it and she's like, no, it's everything seems to be okay. There's no damage to it. And thank God I was planning to use it to record some dance routines. Just try not to drop it next time. It's quite big as well. I mean, how you managed to drop it? You can sort of see her hefting something. You can't see the video camera for obvious reasons, but like she's using two hands to move this thing around. It's obviously quite a sizable, ye olde fashion.
Shoulder cap.
Yeah. And as she lifts it up, just behind her,
filming
you
on a
can
red.
see these two kids just playing together in the background over her shoulder.
Cool, I'll pick a different tape.
Go ahead and roll me the dice again. Unless there's anything in particular you're looking for.
I'd check the labels to see if there's one, or to see if there's anything that would suggest an older one, as in technically a newer one. So when whoever the small people are, they're older. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying?
So like the most recent tape
Yeah.
you can find. Yeah.
The most recent old VHS cassette.
I was a bit concerned there because when you first said it, I was like, how far back do these go?
Yeah.
Are we like, when
Are
did
we
they
gonna watch
start
the birthing?
recording? Yeah.
Conception.
Am I going to have to flip a coin here? How far does this go?
I've come to fix your plumbing.
Could I just interject one thing very quickly? All this magic that Santa has, and he couldn't just digitize all of these videotapes for you?
Dude, how much time do you think he has? He has so many Christmases to do.
Santa. He just go.
Next time,
Anyway,
you're not
you
getting a
don't know
Christmas
that.
present. Just
Continue.
remember that. And everybody knows why. Okay?
Blame the penguin.
Never gonna remember this come December.
You find a tape that looks like the cardboard sleeve that it's got over it looks to be newer than a lot of the others. They're kind of dog-eared, the cardboard's damaged, and the finish on the outside of them are wearing away. This one, the finish is more or less intact, but there's no writing on it, so you're not quite sure what you're going to get. And you take it out the sleeve, you pop it in. It has been rewound, which is nice.
Rewind.
When it starts to play, the kids are a bit older. They're sitting on a older individual's knee. You recognise as a grandparent. And he's talking to them about the Happy Harbour Master Festival. And he's showing them the bracelet he's got. And one of the kids keeps sort of like plucking at it. And keeps pulling at it and tugging at it and trying to, just in the kiddie way that they do, trying to get a hold of it and make it theirs. The other one's just kind of staring really intently at this bearded, quite jolly looking man. Not Santa, just throwing it out there before anybody says anything. Yep.
Is it Andronicus?
I did consider that, but no, it's not Andronicus.
The two answers to who is jolly: Santa, Andronicus.
And Andronicus, yeah. He's just telling the stories. He's telling the story of the Happy Harbour Master, but also the story of his own experiences, the bonfire, the ceremony, as it were, just the whole thing, and sharing a bit of history with them. He looks to be quite old. Maybe just trying to pass on some memories to his grandchildren. And whoever's recording it, or maybe it's very steady, so perhaps it's on a tripod. It's not particularly well focused, so it loses some of the details, but you're pretty certain there's some tears there in his face. He gets up at a certain point. He's called, has to go. Make me a perception check. Alertness.
Didn't know if I get anything on these. 6. Is it dance or martial arts related?
It's not dance or martial arts related, no.
You quickly check something.
Do remember you can spend a personal power for an upshift.
No. Can I counter-strike it? Nope.
I mean, you can, but it's going to damage something. Yeah. How much damage can a VHS take?
Emotional or psych?
I mean, I've hit them quite a few times, so they're pretty sturdy.
Yeah, that old tech, it could take a beating.
Percussive maintenance. No, so that is a critical 14.
No, that's high enough. You see, as he leaves, that he lifts his arm up to sort of wipe across his face. Quite a broad hand that's a bit gnarled and scarred. Looks like he's had quite a very active life. Sort of wipes the tears out of his eyes and sort of straightens his shoulders a bit. As he wipes those tears out of his eyes, the bracelet that was on his wrist is gone. And you can see the kids still playing about on the chair. Camera carries on whirring along for a bit. They're still playing about, they're laughing, they're talking to each other in their babbly way, and just having some fun. and then the mum comes back in. Your mum comes back in. And she sort of walks over to them and she's like, what have you... You weren't supposed to take that. He's going to be very unhappy with you when he finds out, you know. And she leans down to try and take the bracelet off of one of the kids. And as she does, as she tries to pull it away, you recognize it for the bracelet that you've got. The one that you found in your Zord. In the cockpit of your Zord.
With kind of not really thinking too much about it, I'm just Q looks down and scrutinizes and just starts kind of running his fingers over the bangle that he found in his Zord. Still unsure quite how it got there, or stiff.
Whilst this is going on, we're gonna pop over to... I'm gonna pop over to Cal. After his daring escape stunt last night and his save, which I think everybody was glad of because
The most pathetic athletics competition ever held.
it was pretty bad, but you did win.
I did.
Through a window, tackled Pete into the
I mean, you
into a
tackle the
room.
naked. I don't know if that's winning.
You
I
saved,
prevented
you
you
saved the
guys from getting
proposal.
tackled by a naked man, so yeah, it's a win.
You saved the proposal. I'd call that a win personally.
Nobody wants a wang in the middle of their wedding proposal.
Well,
Unsolicited wang.
What have you been up
What's
to
Wang
since
tonight?
waking?
well, if I'm not needed to like do anything with the ship as its pilot, then I guess can I like explore around Triforia while I'm like just like
Yeah.
I'm looking around, I guess. Like I don't have a lot to do in the palace. That seems very family oriented for Pete. I don't really have a role to play there. So I'm gonna go out into town. I'm just gonna explore. I'm gonna see what I can find.
Just kind of just for how
Definitely
I'm going to describe
not running
and-
away from the fashion designer.
Are
Definitely
you
not.
sticking to like the town that is like surrounds the palace, or do you want to go further afield?
I'll stick to Castletown.
So you're in Triforia's capital, and as you go exploring, it's gorgeous. A lot of it reminds you of pictures of like ancient Greece and ancient Rome. And Michael has his hand up, so I'm going to let him interject.
Just like the throwing, can we name the capital city Trinity?
We can name the city capital city Trinity. You're in Triforia's capital city, Trinity. A lot of
Smooth.
which remind you of ancient Rome and ancient Greece. There's a lot of columns. There's a lot of what appears to be marble and stonework. Big buildings, very big buildings, gardens, aqueducts. Water just seems to be flowing everywhere. It's quite populated. People seem to be dressed quite nicely for the most part. There doesn't seem to be any poverty.
Insane.
And it doesn't even seem to be that it's hidden. Like, you kind of go out of your way to have a look around, like, not the back alleys, as it were, but just try and find, like, the less populated parts.
I'm Batmaning in broad daylight and finding
Yeah.
nothing.
It just seems to be a really beautiful place. And as you move around, you find like food stalls have been set up and they're feeding anybody that wants food. the aqueducts have got clean, fresh flowing water. People can literally drink out of fountains.
I would like to roll some kind of insight check for economy.
Uh, bear with me a second, because
It's like, look, Cal doesn't know the most about money. That's just a fact, true statement. But it seems like a really bad business model to have food being given out for nothing.
culture.
All right.
Yeah, you got culture.
No.
Okay. Bear with
Here
me.
comes the snag roll.
Culture. I'm just seeing if there's anything else
Streetwise?
I can think of.
Would streetwise work?
Streetwise.
Same as culture.
Anything anybody else can think of to suggest?
Survival?
Science? Economy could be in
Finesse.
science.
The science. No, I think culture makes the most sense.
To
Yeah.
me, culture made the most sense. That's why I threw it out there. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else anybody can think of that could help or be as a stand-in. Remember, you can ignore snag for a personal PowerPoint.
Nah.
No,
You
okay.
could
This
contact
isn't-
Sarah for an upshift or something.
This isn't that important. 10.
That's 10's pretty good.
Neutral.
Yeah, I mean,
Not bad, not good. It's flat.
it
It's like, do I see anyone exchanging?
around
something
the food
for goods and
carts things
service.
like that. No, and I'm saying food cart. We're not talking like a wooden wagon or anything like that. It's
Hot dog
equivalent
stand.
to like a food truck.
Okay.
But
Bigger than a hot dog stand.
technologically wise, it's hovering just off the ground.
Mhm.
Whatever it's using, it's keeping it aloft. The energy, whatever it's using for energy, seems to be pretty clean. You see steam from food cooking, but you don't see any sort of smoke or anything like that. You do see other people shopping for things, for clothes and for
Goods and or
toys
services.
and things like that. Yeah, and they are exchanging coins. One of the buildings you see, huge, probably the second biggest building you've seen other than the palace. People are just coming in and out with books. Nobody is exchanging money for the books.
So on my list of things that cost money, there is goods, services, things that don't cost money, food, water, education. Next, I'm looking for shelter. How much does housing cost? I'm trying to find out if they made like the 5 whatevers you need for like
the
survival in
yeah.
a society, like as if they made those universally free.
There doesn't seem to be a lot of accommodation specifically in Trinity. You have to go a bit further towards the outskirts of it, just because there's so much inside Trinity itself that seems to be dedicated to education. You see a university, you see schools. There's so many different food carts and things like that. Out of curiosity, do you ask any questions? Or are you just looking?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm Batmaning. I'm Batmaning in broad daylight.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, no, Michael brings up a good question. I pull out my phone and I open up the Trillo app. It's Triforia and Zillow.
For the ignorant person in the group, I don't know if it's a US thing or if it's just a me thing.
Oh,
Zillow?
do you not know what Zillow? It's literally like House Finder. Like,
Okay.
they put houses on sale. It's properties and
I would
such.
say they don't have like a Zillow equivalent, but you do. Like, they have like a essentially like a worldwide internet that you can access quite easily. You type in housing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
It
looking
points
it
you
up.
towards a housing section. It's almost like someone's taken a cutout of the Colosseum like they've cut the Colosseum in half. So you've got that curved upward section. You've got the arc walls and everything else, and they've turned it into houses. So there's gardens. You can see people growing food, flowers, anything they want to. Herbs, spices. There's still aqueducts running through it. There's water. There's vehicles. Kids running about, being kids. Some are, play fighting. Some are racing each other. Some are playing sports. There's balls being kicked about. There's things being thrown backwards and forwards. But there's whole sections on the outskirts of this city almost forming a circle around Trinity completely. Except for the fact that there are sections, like gateways, that you can leave the city by. That are just these housing sections.
Could I try find someone who is actively in the process of moving in to further solidify the idea that housing is probably free?
Yeah. Say there's somebody who looks to be in their like early 20s. One half of their head is completely shaved off. The other is just like flat against the other side. Yeah. You figure they're
Got
probably
the cyberpunk
a student.
haircut.
They've got like a whole pile of books that they're carrying. It looks heavy. It looks incredibly heavy. They're not trying to make it in like several trips. They have got a stack of books half the size of them that they have, by whatever bright idea, lifted up thinking it was going to be okay, and are now trying to quickly walk this stack of books into the house.
I'll help them. And I am a Power Ranger right now, so
I figured.
I feel like there's a certain level of authority. So I don't think this person can tell me no.
And I'm assuming as well, because this is you, and you are the Power Ranger that you are, it's not just a case of like, here's my two hands. It's like, no, here's all of my hands, as you just
exactly
take the books aside, and it's like several stacks of books.
Mm-hmm. And I take all of them from him. Where am I putting these?
He sort of looks at you for a second. He's like, oh, "You're the Purple Ranger."
Yes, sir.
I heard you fought one of those evil psycho people. Somebody said you went invisible. Can you go invisible?
Who said that? Hold on. Like, joking aside, I'm now worried about the integrity of the palace. I was alone when I fought that guy.
Well, apparently there was a camera and it took a picture of somebody who wasn't there and then was there, and they said that you went invisible. But then I suppose maybe you can just move really quickly.
This guy's name is Mark.
This guy's name is Mark.
I can, in fact, move very quickly. I jumped 90 feet.
Just sees you like leap into the air carrying all the books.
No, it's like a side hop. It's a side hop, so I'm 90 feet away. Like,
hey, come back! I need those books.
I'm back. Less than 6 seconds.
Okay, sorry. I thought maybe you was gonna. I suppose you wouldn't take my books. You are a Power Ranger. That would be silly of me. I'm sorry. I'm Mark. How are you?
Someone else has spent more points to give him the last name Marker.
And this is why you guys don't get to name things.
Pleasure to meet you, Mark. I am Purple Ranger.
They don't give you your own names. You have to go by colors. Okay. Well, if
More
you'd
of a
like to come
security
in with
thing.
me, I can show you where to put the books, and he leads you into the house. It's fairly open plan.
Mm-hmm.
You go past a small garden that hasn't yet been planted. There's seeds that have been left for him. There's some gardening equipment. You can see it's a little bit worn, but there's a note by it, like a handwritten letter. And as you walk past it, you can see enough to see that it looks to be a gift from one of his neighbours. Just somebody
hydrate.
has left him with seeds and, gosh darn it.
Shot.
Somebody has left him with seeds and gardening tools, so that he can plant his own garden. As you go inside, there's, as I said, it is very open plan. You go in, there's a small living room that leads into the kitchen. There's a flight of stairs that goes up probably about 7 foot, doesn't go too far, and you see a bathroom, a bedroom rather, and what looks to be a changing room and bathroom just beyond it. It's not a huge house, but everything seems to be there that he needs. There's power. As I said, water is flowing freely. Taps, the whole kitchen. It points you towards a bookshelf that is equally covered in books already. He kind of smiles at you a bit sheepishly. He's like,
My automatic arms start arranging the books.
oh my God. Have you been to the library yet? They would love you.
I haven't. I'll make sure to check it out. Thank you.
Just imagine how much work you would make. So much. Do you know the system that they use for the books?
I only know my race's systems of organization. I'd have to learn if I went to help for that.
It's not too bad. So we go by first name, and then last name, and then the name of the book.
So first name of author.
Yes.
So all of the A's, but in order of A, AB, AC, in terms of first last name, and then as a third check, it's the title of the book too. So if you had two
they have their own
AAs, then go to
section. So
title.
if you need like history books, it'd all be in a history section.
Right.
Or if you, yeah.
This is a nightmare.
I know. Instantly, I was like, "This is terrible," and I love it.
Such a bad method of organization. I arrange his books as such.
You should do it in the Dewey Decimal System and just be like, "Try this."
I'm not going to be responsible for bringing the Dewey Decimal System to a foreign planet. Look, I'm too human. They got to pay me for that shit.
Yeah, I mean,
He's Mark the Third, by the way.
Mark the Third. Oh God.
The marketing.
Yeah, the house is in good condition. All of the furniture is new. You see that most of it appears to be wooden.
I need to check out a forest for fun.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the furniture appears to be wooden. He seems quite happy, quite content.
Which is a far cry from the students I know back on Earth. I mean, hell, several of my teammates were students, and they were all miserable.
And he does start kind of, as you're putting the books away and as he starts unpacking other bits and pieces, he opens the fridge and you see it's full of food and another note, and it's like another one of the, or possibly even several of the neighbours who have just left him some food to get by for the first couple of days before he goes.
Oh, very importantly, when we entered the house, was there a lock on the door?
There was keys. So he had keys, but the door wasn't locked. In fact, as you went in, it was wide open.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, in a society like this, do they have the need or the fear of privacy and or locking things? Yeah. So I'm gonna start asking this guy about what he does. You said he was a student when
I study astronavigation. I know that some people don't like this subject, but I love to look at the stars and consider where they are in relation to other stars and how we could get to different places. And sometimes you have to plot different courses to different things. And I really want to go into the Navy. I did consider being a pilot, but I'm not really the fastest in terms of reaction speed. So maybe I just think
planet
about being a scientist.
has a Navy.
I would like to add this person as a contact.
I mean, look, if you ever want to do a work study abroad, I don't know where you are in your, I don't know at what point you are in your studies, or what level of school, how long you've been in school for this kind of thing. But if you ever reach the point where you need, like, you want to do an internship with like a reputable organization, I can put you in touch with my boss's boss. I'm trying to give him Zordon's phone number.
2 more of him pop out. He is so excited. Like one of
Oh,
them
that
is
just happens sometimes.
One of them is just like full of glee and excitement. You can tell. The other's a bit more serious.
That's
the
why I'm
third-
trying to put him in touch with our boss's boss,
Yeah.
Michael.
The third is
I can get,
just
you can get him assigned to some
completely-
other Power Ranger ship, not ours.
The third is very much still talking about all of the nerdy stuff. Just completely, just still hasn't stopped talking.
No!
I'm ignoring that.
No!
Has not stopped talking at all. He's still going on about astronavigation, astrophysics, stars. One of them grabs a hold of you, not in like a threatening or aggressive way, but it's just like, you could do that for me? We've only just met. I can't believe you would do that. You'd go out on a limb for me and...
I mean, as far as going out on limbs are concerned, I sort of just like wiggle.
I mean, you have so many.
I've got enough to stretch out.
He kind of pokes one of them. It's like, do all of your people have this many limbs?
No, 4 of them are robotic, but I'll leave you to guess which 4.
2 from the top and any other 3, please, Carol.
Having extra limbs would make life significantly more easy. I could carry
That
more
was my
books, I
thought
could write
process when
things
I
faster.
designed these.
We have an aquatic creature that has several limbs.
File. Is the aquatic creature sapient, or is it?
They do appear to
like,
be incredibly clever. Very good at escaping places, problem
clever?
solving.
Clever in the way that like animals are clever, or clever in the way that like communicating life is clever.
We've never had a conversation with one, but I do believe they are they are on a list of animals that are. They don't get eaten.
Okay, that is exactly what I was going for. Thank you. Damn. What can I say? I like food, and I like to know what is edible and what is people, so that I don't eat the people.
Yes. In fact, there's a quite a nice. It's not really a shelter, but we designed some. They like to escape things. They seem to enjoy the puzzle of getting into and out of spaces. So we designed some like puzzles for them and sunk them into the coast. If you ever want to take a trip,
it's taken me an embarrassingly long time to realize what animal you are talking about.
Really?
I am
Really?
disappointed in you. I am disappointed in you.
An embarrassingly long. That took me 2 minutes. It took me 2 minutes. I was like, oh wait, it's just an octopus.
It's an octopus. It is an
It's
octopus.
just an octopus.
Triforia, it's a tryptopus. They only have 3 tentacles here.
No,
And
it
it's
would be-
8 octopus. Oh, they've got 8 octopus. They've got 8 tentacles, but there's 3 of them.
There are 3
I'm working on
octopus.
it.
There
I'll
are
get
3
back to you.
octopuses. So 24 tentacles.
Yep. They travel in like swarms.
Odds.
Yeah. So he's obviously very happy about the potential for the
Work study, internship,
Work study, thank
mentorship,
you,
whatever you
internship.
want to call it.
I wanted to say internship, but in my head it began with an A, and that's not a letter that internship begins with, so the word wasn't coming.
I mean, it can start with an A if you're wrong.
Apprenticeship.
Thank you. Apprenticeship. That was the word that was coming in. Thank you, Michael. And as he carries on the conversation with you, those 3 parts of him fuse back into one slowly.
Mm-hmm.
you can see like scattered about on the table and things already, just the stuff that he's brought into the house. There's like the equivalent of a laptop. It seems to be slightly more advanced in terms of the fact that yes, it does have a display, but it also appears to be projecting images into 3 dimensions. And there is like a huge chart of stars that are projected onto the table or above the table from the laptop. He doesn't need a star chart. He has a star chart with him, sort of thing. Yeah, he's got technology. He's got somewhere safe and warm and comfortable to live. He's got a fridge full of food. He's got privacy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I leave him with the contact information for, I guess, Tor, and then make sure.
Sense.
And then make sure that Tor has a log of me, like, vouching for this guy to get a work study after he's, like, at the point in his schooling where he can go for one.
Does he know where Bob is? Did you ever register Bob with the Cartographers Guild?
No, absolutely
No,
not.
is Tor connected to the Cartographers Guild?
Naturally.
Michael, roll me a technology check.
Oh, got you.
Tor, how many upshifts does Tor get for a tech
Yeah,
check?
how many upshifts do I get from Tor?
Hold on, I'm buying you an up.
Tor is at a D2.
Stop spending channel points.
How many upshifts do I get from, like, can I gain assistance from Tor?
I'm joking, dude. It's registered on it was a joke. You're good.
Oh, I was so hoping you were going to say yes, because if you gave me 2 upshifts, I'd auto crit and we'd be all good, and it'd be my first technology auto crit.
You get 10 downshifts.
I mean, if I assisted you, I think I'd give you edge and upshift.
Oh, I have edge already.
You get
Well,
10
2
downshifts.
upshifts then.
2 upshifts, auto crit.
He's just ignoring me every time I say 10 downshifts, isn't he?
No, 'cause we're not asking for Tor for assistance anymore. I have a queue.
Yeah. Does Cal do any more exploring of Trinity? Does he want to look for the forest? Does he want to check out the octopi? Or the Hexadodecapus?
How hungry is Cal?
I'm not about to go to another planet and then eat an animal that they're like, we don't eat these. I wouldn't go to like some place where they worship cows and be like, now get me a burger.
But you would download a car.
I would absolutely download a car if that was available. Can you imagine? You couldn't stop me. Also, fun fact about that commercial, they actually stole the music for it. So they had to take all those commercials off the air for copyright infringement.
Okay, but is Cal looking for the forest?
Yeah, I want to see how many sources of like wood are on the planet. Because you said that most of the stuff is like wood constructed. I want to see if that's like specific or if that's just a running theme because they have so much of it.
Roll me either a alertness technology survival or science check.
Okay.
Basically, roll me like a smarts check that isn't cultures.
Roll for wood.
Yeah.
Your old wood. Well, 6.
Seriously, just a 6.
6. Take it or leave it.
You
failed to get wood.
contact Tor to do like a biodiversity check on the planet. He does come back to you, but it's going to take some time. So you've got some time to do some other stuff, or we can flick over to somebody else.
Yeah, Cal is gonna keep exploring, but not really like focus on anything. We can flick to someone else.
Okay.
We got time to waste on Triforia with the Queen Mother just doddering.
So this is going to be fun because I'm going to say something, and the first person to respond is the one I meant. Michael.
Yeah.
What's Peter doing on Triforia?
Should have responded.
want to do a couple of different things. So to start my day, I'm going to be in the lab on the ship. And if possible, I'd like to be working on that thing I was talking to you about earlier.
That thing you talked about that time.
No, earlier. Not that time. This time.
I was making a joke.
I was carrying it on.
One time at band camp.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Is Peter building a girlfriend?
Again.
No.
The second time. Alpha
one
was
didn't
his
go well.
first.
What I'm going to say to you is that it's not something that you're going to succeed on a single check. It's going to take time. So skip that. What would you like to do that we can cover in like half an hour?
I have no idea how much I want to roll all of these dice, dude.
Even the level up map.
Please roll me a technology check to see how far you progress.
Thank you.
Difficulty is 40.
That's mean.
I'm actually just in my head trying to figure out if you can roll a 40. 1 second.
He cannot. The highest
No,
you
he
can roll is a
technically.
38.
Can he inspire himself?
I'm gonna give myself an upshare.
I suppose, yeah, with that extra D6, it is possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can roll over a
Or
40. if
critically
you-
succeed, or just auto succeed.
Mhm.
But I am joking. The for a success, it's going to be like a 20, but the passage of time is what's going to be the stumbling point, as I said to you earlier.
I rolled like 32.
Yeah. So you do sort of like rough up some
It's so
schematics
many
for it, and you have a rough idea of what you're going to need to do. But you're also aware that it's probably going to take the better part of a week or even 2 weeks of work in between travel and everything.
Mhm.
And
I will
possibly
leave-
even, fabricating it is going to take time.
I will leave my systems running to obviously continue analyzing the data. And then
Maybe like roping in Baby Dragon to help out while you're...
to help monitor and
Yeah.
go through the science of it.
Baby dragon in a lab coat.
And then I would like to spend some time with Grandmama on planet. Pete feels like he got what he needed to say out, and now he doesn't feel so like conflicted and constricted by things. Also, like obviously with rejoining and the nice words that Q said to him, he's like feeling a bit more himself again. Just got his pep back in his step, so he's not so worried about spending time with Grandmama, and specifically he wants to like learn more about his like heritage and that, despite what he said about wanting to go home. He still like would like to know where he comes from, but also wants to learn more about what Trey was like, because obviously I only know the individuals, not the combined.
See, this is going to sound really mean. This is not intended to sound really mean, I swear to you. This isn't like your grandmama is trying to punish you or anything like that. It really isn't. She's literally trying to get the planet ready for her to leave.
I would also obviously like whilst going along, I'd like to like be helping with that. It's like whilst we're in the
Yeah.
motion of doing
What she
things,
sort of
that
does is
she's
she,
like,
she brings you along with her, so you're in all the meetings and everything else. But her assistant, I can't think of the guy's name. I apologize. I named him like 4 episodes ago. I have a terrible feeling I named him something like Ricardo or something because
Dave Davington the fourth.
no, he definitely wasn't Dave Davidson the fourth. But we're going to go with
I mean, we
Ricardo
have
and
channel
hope
points,
that
dude.
was the correct name. The one who she was so over enthusiastic with previously. The bodyguard to her, Julie Andrews. If you're catching the drift here, people. She kind of assigns him as she's doing stuff that she can't spend too much time walking through different steps with you. And he gathers like a data pad and uploads information on it, and you find like pictures of Trey right from like day 2. We're not talking day 1 because he was
Ew.
yeah. You is the right description for that. But like day 2 and all throughout his life, so you've got pictures of him walking. There's pictures of him like first day of school. There's pictures of him graduating. Yes, Peter is Anne Hathaway.
I'm a
Didn't think
princess.
that, but yes, that does apply to this situation. Yeah, there's pictures of him like graduating. There's pictures of him with his first girlfriend off on their first date. It's just pictures of every moment of his life. And even if it wasn't like a direct camera, like somebody taking a picture of him, there's pictures. There's security stills. There's journalism, but paparazzi, or the equivalent of paparazzi. They don't seem to be quite so, based on the pictures, they don't appear to be quite as invasive, but there's still moments captured by somebody. The copy of his diary that you already had found, that's added to the data pad, so you can read up on what he'd been writing as he'd taken on the mantle of the Gold Ranger. Captures all of his missions and the like. Nothing from before that. If anything exists, they either didn't find it or kept it private.
Mhm.
It does seem to be... Out of curiosity, this is a question for Q. Did you tell the others about your experience with the throne and the other Gold Rangers?
No, I don't think so. Only kind of in ratifying that Trey was Pete's dad.
So you're not aware then that how much of a tradition it is keeping that information, the Gold Rangers keeping a log of everything. And it is very much everything. It might not be, I ate this for breakfast this day, but feelings, what they did, where they went to. It's very detailed.
Well, whilst going through it, then, I'd like to start adding to the logs, like Trey's life on Earth, everything I know about him. Like uploading it from, I assume I've still got my smartphone, like, and if not, it's connected to my grid-wide communicator. So, yeah, so Pete will upload all of the information he has, but obviously letting Queenie, who have we actually figured out a name for my grandmama?
Queenie. She's
That
Queen
is just
Queenie.
her name.
Yeah.
Just
Queenie
Queenie.
is actually her name.
Cool. That solves that.
She was meant for the throne.
And obviously, letting Queenie know that I'm uploading this information as well. And yeah, just gonna get proper stuck in learning more about like where I come from, and yeah, trying to help as much as I can with delegating, getting everything ready for us to move on out.
Okay. You're shown a lot of Triforia. She does take you on a bit of a tour as she goes around to check on a few different places. So you're shown a lot of Trinity, much like Cal did as he explored it.
Do I see Cal while we're out?
Cal, does he see you while you're out?
Oh, flip a coin. Like, I'm not going at. I'm just exploring. I'm not like. It's not like I'm not hiding myself. If he sees me, he sees me. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Like,
I'd specifically like to see the interaction of him holding all the books.
Oh no,
for
not
Mark
yeah,
Worthington
you
the
don't.
third.
she's very much
You know,
in the
you
center
wouldn't
of
need to
town.
go near the housing district.
Yeah, she's very much in the center of town. Like, she shows you the library, she shows you the university. She's got some obligations that she's got to go to, and she takes you with her. And she takes you to one of the food carts. It's like her favourite place to go and get something to eat. And whilst there's a certain amount of reverence You see people kind of whispering sort of behind her back to a degree. For the most part, people just treat her like any other person. The Royal
She is
Guard are
one of the
there,
people.
but they're there just kind of ceremonially. They're there because they're supposed to be there. They're not sort of placing themselves between her and anybody else. Not intentionally, at least. They're not stopping anybody from coming up to her. She has conversations with people. She just, yeah. You do see a few people ask the question, because it's a very good question posed in the chat by one of the individuals in this party. Who's that strange individual with the Queen?
I mean, I am, other than helmet, I am morphed.
I mean, they still don't know who you are.
Surely they can infer a Power Ranger. Like...
Yeah, but is there like a database of which Power Ranger's which?
Well, no, but like...
So,
Power
who's that
Ranger
strange
armor. It's a
individual
Power
with the
Ranger.
Queen?
Ah, it's one of those Power Rangers that helped save the
Power Ranger, isn't it?
Pete will question like Queenie in regards to like as we're in public and Pete isn't completely up on tradition, that he will still refer to her as like Your Majesty. Your Majesty,
Your
can I
Majesty.
Your Majesty in it? I mean,
Okay.
just
Your
accent.
Majesty.
Yeah, your Majesty. This isn't what I expected from like how royalty would be treated. Not a bad thing in any sense of the imagination, but on Earth, there's no way you could be walking down this street with just this handful of guards, and there's no way that these guys would, like the crowd themselves, wouldn't be bothered by your presence.
Why not?
The royalty on our planet like to think they're above like common people.
That's incredibly stupid. I mean, I went to that university. I borrowed books from the library. I ate food from that cart for 3 years when I was studying.
Okay, royalty here. Much better than on Earth. Good to know. So you're uh, um, like a monarch of the people then, rather than of the crown.
I'm
I mean, I suppose goes
of
hand in
the
hand with
people.
Power Ranger.
My task, my duty is to protect the people, to protect
Yeah.
Triforia.
We definitely need to like get you caught up on some Earth things before we get there.
Why would I wish to be anything but of the people?
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at fucking. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Jay's comment in there. Yeah, no, I completely get what you mean. Like, I'm in agreement there. Again, too much to explain now, but on the journey to Earth, we'll catch you up on some traditions of home, I suppose.
Everybody hydrate.
Already done.
Yeah.
I am currently the only thing on my desk that I could drink. I really should not drink.
I mean, look.
Everybody but Jay hydrate.
Look, when this water runs out, I just bought liquor today, so
We'll make sure we take a break before the next one so that Cal can rehydrate his hydrate.
I have
never.
like essential oils and screen cleaner. So
Oh, dude, the screen cleaner is premium.
No. The Queen,
And,
when she's taking you through the library, like you've eaten, and it appears to be some sort of. I hate using this because it's that really easy to. It tastes like chicken. It has that same texture. It has that same taste. It's quite spicy, but has a really nice and sweet aftertaste. It's on a skewer. And it's gorgeous. And she's literally just eating off the skewer, just plucking it off with her teeth, just like anybody else who's getting the food. And she waits in the line just like everybody else.
Peter will obviously dig in as well, as you said. It tastes like chicken. And Pete will even announce, tastes like chicken. And like just carry on munching away. Um, Obviously, if permissible, I'd like to carry on exploring with Grandmama. And then as like our day sort of starts to wrap up and we start to head back to the castle, Pete will turn to her and ask, um, so obviously you're a royal fashion designer man person,
Mm-hmm.
is making us outfits.
Yes.
Would you maybe like to help me pick out a design I like?
Yes, but you do realise that if I'm having any say in it, there's going to be gold.
I mean, have you not seen the armor? I'm not averse to some gold.
She kind of links hands with you, arms with you, and pulls you away towards. You haven't seen the section of the palace, but you know it's one of the sections of the palace that the fake Zeo signals were being broadcast from, and it's the one that Cal was protecting.
Has it been repaired yet?
Yeah,
Damn, they fast.
I mean there wasn't much damage to it. It was a pretty contained fight. It's just the damage, the garments and things like that, and it's all been replaced. So she does. She comes in. You find the designer there, and you all three sit down and start picking and making decisions.
Fade to black. And scene.
Sorry about that. And
The weird sense all session that we were going to get about.
yeah, I've been thinking that entire this whole time. It even came up that they might have been avoiding a ban, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will flip now to Sarah, to the other Michael, who I honestly thought was going to be the first one to say anything when I said what I said earlier. Sarah,
Waiting for Jay to
what
say
are
something.
you and potentially Kelsey?
I mean, yeah, you've seen movies. It's the dress montage. That's my day. And
You're just checking out fashion
Kelsey
in
has to be part of it and deal with it, especially after forcing a proposal.
just like in Trinity or in the castle.
I mean, probably probably in the castle, unless
So
wherever the guy takes us. Honestly, like
he's based in the castle, but what you also find is he takes you first of all to his workshop. So you've gone to the same place that Peter and the Queen will end up later on, where Cal was fighting the Black Psycho Ranger. You see a few scuff marks on the wall. One in particular looks exactly like Cal's boot print. And you're kind of like, okay. He shows you some of the samples of cloth and other fabrics and some of the detailing and things like that he's got on some of the other dresses. They do seem to have. There's one dress he takes you to have a look at, and it looks like possibly like rhinestones or something. Make me a science check.
Roll for Rhinestone Cowboy.
Brain cells are freaking
Use the lab coat that sits around your heart.
7.
Okay. Kelsey got a critical 20, which is actually kind of low. I'm probably missing an edge that she probably should have rolled with, but we're just going to keep with a critical 20 for now because that's more than high enough. You're fairly certain they're rhinestones. They're quite tough. Are you morphed or unmorphed at this point in time?
Unmorphed.
Unmorphed. They're quite tough. Very rigid. Kelsey leans in a bit closer. She's got a watch on, and she looks at it, and then just goes like that. And there's a big scratch mark across the glass of the watch.
Damn.
Are all of these diamonds?
Wait, what? I thought they were rhinestones.
She looks over it and it's just... Is every one... Do you grow them in a lab? I mean, we've been growing diamonds in labs. That does bring down the cost significantly. You don't need to... He just sort of smiles and... You have not been doing any of the... You have space travel and you do not do any of like the mining in space?
Our our space travel is not great. We're the exception to the yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the rare metals, they're not so rare. And he shows you to a dress that looks like it's got like gold wiring, like almost like lace. But it is gold that's been shaped into a pattern that does provide some shape to the dress as well. It's just like you're
Damn.
looking at what would be a fortune on Earth. And it's just sitting there. The door, you came in, I mean, it's in the palace. It is in the palace. There's guards and everything. They're not just nobody's just wandering around willy-nilly, but it's just sitting there. The door wasn't even locked. He seems to be taking more care of his equipment, or more concern of his equipment, than he was of the dresses.
Dang.
I do not do the money, the trade, the economies is...
Yeah.
But the rare metals, the stones, you're not bound to the one planet. You're not bound to like the asteroids, the comets, everything in
We
space.
barely got to the moon.
It's all out there.
Yeah. Someday. Maybe.
There's this liquid gas on the moon. He says something, and it's like almost indecipherable. But your morpher, it does translate it for you, and it's just helium free. It's like this powers planets, like one trip the entire year.
All right.
So, the
Noted.
dress?
I mean, gold, not really my color.
No use more the black and the pink?
Yeah. and I guess the red and the green. Maybe a little white.
Just not the gold.
Yeah.
The purple?
Sorry?
The purple?
I mean, purple's fine. Yeah. Silver's better than gold, Just saying.
Is a much better color. Is it look better on the skin?
Yeah.
Gold's very It's very nice
Khaki?
color, but is not for the clothing. It's for the queen and for the royal family, for the things and the fighting.
I've seen very few people who really pull gold off.
So we stick with the silver. And the silver with the black is very nice contrast.
Yeah.
I have the idea. You'll come
All
with
right.
me.
Absolutely.
And he kind of like loops an arm, one for you, one for Kelsey, who was still just like Kelsey's rich, Kelsey's family's rich, and Kelsey's that kind of rich where Kelsey's not rich, Kelsey's family's rich.
Mhm.
You know, it's like I'm not rich, my family's rich. That kind of rich. She's that diamond dress. She's kind of like staring, mouth slightly agape at the sheer audacity of it.
I mean, it's pretty and all, babe, but no,
Do you
that thing would
have
hurt.
any understanding about how much this would cost on Earth?
Vaguely. Also, I don't want to get cut by it.
It's very impractical. I don't even understand why it's here. Was it like a proof of concept or just...
We can do better than attacking diamond dress for you.
Okay.
What they don't realize is it's actually Pete's outfit.
Pete's coming to the
actually
wedding
cute.
dressed in that.
Oh, trying to upstage the brides.
What a
Again, I
catty
can one-shot
bitch.
you.
Try.
I didn't say for the wedding. I meant the outfit that Queenie's gonna help
Ah.
design.
He dragged you out of the room. One arm for each of you and just kind of strolling through the palace. People tend to get out of his way. It's not like there's no aggression or anything like that. They just seem to just want to stay on his good side. And as he walks past them, there's always a little detail. It's like, oh, that's she's 3 times married, 2 husbands so far dead. Is a little suspicious, but so far everything's come back crystal. But still, it's just a little suspicious, and stay away from her at the dinner, and no drinks taken, or just in case.
Okay.
Um,
I didn't think there'd be a Black Widow problem on Triforia, but all right.
Her name
and
Debbie.
it just kind of continues as you walk along. He introduces you to a couple of people. Some people he snubs completely, and those people you notice that he snubs, their
Have terrible
outfits are
clothes.
nice. They're not as nice as the others. You can tell the ones he's made and the ones that somebody else has made, and whether or not he's snubbing them for not coming to him in the first place, or them having the outfits is part of the snub. Who knows? But he takes you to a ballroom. There are tables set up already. Lots of place settings. Lots of... Everything's set up for food to be laid out, but there's no food. And what you see is staff moving about, busying about, bringing out flowers and things like that. But also what appears to be people of the court. All opulently dressed. Men, women, children, people of all genders. Just, it's like a showroom for his best work.
Wow.
And he kind of releases your hands and sweeps his own arms out, and then just sort of, as they say, ta-da.
Yeah. Very
Tell
nice.
me what you like from the different people's outfits, even the hair, the jewelry, the makeup. We will make it happen.
All right. I like that bow.
Really? The bow?
Yeah.
The big bow?
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Sort of on the side there. Yeah.
What are you, present? Gift?
I'm a goddamn gift. Yeah. Have you met
I'm-
me?
To someone.
He looks over
Sure.
at Kelsey and rolls his eyes, just like, she's very dramatic. You do not marry her for her fashion sense, I think.
I heard that too.
You were supposed to. Do I not stutter? I speak very clearly, very loudly. Can you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Sometimes not so much. Honestly. But it's just the accent.
Roll me an alertness perception check.
This.
Or even a cultures check.
Oh my. Yeah, no. Alertness. Bam, 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 bam. Where do we land? I don't think that I can make that better. Yeah, critical 19. It's fine. Yeah, we'll take
You haven't heard anybody else on Triforia so far speaking in the same way.
it.
Not one single person.
Is the only French guy on Triforia.
And you do remember the Queen specifically mentioning TV shows having made it from Earth.
Oh,
And you
he's
have to
faking
wonder
it. That's
how much.
funnier.
Yeah.
And
It's a really bad French accent because he's been watching Hello Hello.
Like
a lot
how
of
much of it
Monty
is.
Python.
Yeah, maybe he's from a different part of Triforia and they do speak in this accent. Or maybe it is all just pretense because he saw it on television or their equivalent of television and thought it sounded fancy.
So what's your favorite show?
Sure.
I'm assuming you watch a lot of Earth TV with that accent.
I don't have the time for watching the after dressing all these people. I have so much work to. In fact, I don't even know how I'm spending so much time with you.
Insight check.
Go for it.
Little does anyone know, there's a small town on Triforia called Space France.
Space France.
France.
I think you're almost as bad at naming things as I am, Michael.
It's like France, but in space.
I think regular 25 is probably good enough.
Yeah, he's definitely turning the porcupine.
Yeah.
Quebec?
It's just called wee wee wee.
Oh,
You have to say it 3 times because it's Triforia. Yeah, he's definitely turning a porcupine.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you seem like maybe you're the queer eye type, but I don't know.
I do not know of this
Mhm,
queer eye
mhm.
TV show that you're talking
No,
about, but
Sarah, I'll put you onto the tech. What you got to do is you got to make a reference that's incorrect, and he will literally not be able to stop himself from correcting you.
Sarah doesn't watch any of that stuff, though.
Yeah, Nah.
I mean, if I definitely do not watch the Bobby or the Jonathan. I do not know what you are talking about.
Got him.
I feel like that was a reference that I don't understand. Because unless you're talking about the Property Brothers, but caught that a couple times.
See, this is how I speak.
Okay, sure, I'll take it. However, you do you, man.
Do you want that outfit?
No, I mean, I want like that piece, and then like the way that like that the flowy part over there is nice, and then we'll take that sash as a concept, and we'll tweak it. Yeah.
He looks over at Kelsey again. Is she very demanding?
You wanted my insight, like
Insight, not just a shopping list of want.
this is my input. I don't
What
know
about my creativity? My spark?
Suddenly gone Scottish.
Kind of fell apart there a little bit.
what is sparking you, good sir?
Snowflakes.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, we can work with that.
Silver snowflakes. Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Noble. You are no gifts, no presents, you are the bell.
Well, I mean, the bow is definitely on point with the
Nobel.
whole
Noble.
thing.
You are the bell. I think the saying is the bell of the ball.
Yeah, that's is the saying. Yeah,
I think the bell is also on the point, no?
I like the bow. It's like a belt, but cuter.
Nobel.
Just try to look at Kelsey for help, get nothing.
Kelsey has found food somewhere. Bearing in mind there was no food out. She's found one of the staff and it's just like, feed
There
me?
was a chicken wing in a pocket.
She's got like a whole plate, like a silver
Kelsey's
tray
pocket pick.
full of just like food that she's just nomming on quietly.
All right, fine, no bow.
Nobo.
Fine.
And your friends? They are
For
not
Kelsey?
always the helpfulest of the people. I think the purple one is avoiding me.
Oh, he'll do that. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, that's yeah.
I sent some people to look for him. Last I heard, he was on the rooftop.
Is he Batmaning again?
There was this noise being made. It was the na 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 na. I
Now,
don't understand.
unfortunately for you guys, that doesn't make sense because Cal has never seen television.
No, but maybe he has, and he gets the Batman in reference.
I'd pay money to see Cal. Na 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 na.
He was on the roof, and the jumping on one the roof to the next roof, and yes, it's very strange.
It just
It's
make
broad
him so.
daylight as well. There's so much light and perfectly good streets.
We'll pull up my phone and take a picture of like the last milkshake that I got. Like so, like purple and also sort of like this. Like he does weird things with. I don't know if you have milkshakes here, but yeah.
The milkshake, I've heard it brings all the boys to the yard.
Especially when Cal makes them.
My milkshakes have an effect on the homosexual community.
The colors, I will make this. For the gold one?
You? I mean, you're such a queen. So something like that evokes like royalty, probably.
We already have the queen.
Well, don't tell him that.
But he's met her.
I suppose we can have two queens.
They're
The queen-
friends.
They are very friendly. Yes.
Definitely, I mean, definitely gold, I think. Yeah.
The gold is as you said,
some
is
red.
it doesn't
Some
suit
red
all
there.
of the people, but on this one it works very well.
Yeah. I said, like I said, there are a few people I've seen who can pull gold off, and Hugh happens to be one of them.
I've heard some people they say the fancy yellow.
Yeah, fancy yellow.
I'm worried what Q just did or what Jay just did. There was like a whole marker there. I'm like, oh no, we're in trouble.
Yeah, some gold, some red, maybe a little black.
Okay. And
The- Together.
I will speak to the queen about the royal brat. Oh,
Did you
it
just call me
disappeared.
a brat?
Correct, I did.
Correct, I do.
The royal brat, yes, I will speak to the queen about him.
White. I mean, but white, green. Yeah. Webs.
What?
Yeah.
It's like the mess in the corners of the room.
Pull up a picture of Spider-Man.
Just a fucking picture of Spider-Man.
We do not have this.
Well, you see like the pattern there, like the web pattern. Yeah.
I very this.
You can make him an outfit that looks exactly like a Spider-Man suit, but in green and gold and white.
Exactly.
So the Green Goblin suit.
Is he the Spider Ranger?
I mean, this is a character from a comic book, but
Is he the
Sort of,
Spider
yeah.
Ranger? The
Oh,
white one?
no.
Is he the Spider?
It just feels appropriate. He's a
Okay, I will do the webs.
yeah.
It's very strange, but I will do the webs and
He's a weird
the
guy.
things.
You met him.
He's very strange.
Hmm.
As I said, very the royal bratty.
This guy doesn't have a nice thing to say about anyone.
I'd like to say Pete is not a brat. He says.
You give him
very
a hat
bratish.
that has eyebrows on it.
He says, stamping his foot.
The
Stomping
hat-
his foot and throwing a tantrum.
I can stitch the eyebrows on the hats.
Yeah.
A nice the hat on the top of the head.
Mhm,
The top hat.
Yes.
Very surprised.
Pete is going to veto so much of this.
Who are we picking on first? Who wants to go
I'll go.
first?
I'll get it out of the way.
That makes that nice and easy.
Yeah.
Just wearing a milkshake.
What I will say very quickly before we go to the ball is that as this time has progressed, you do get a sort of a report from Tor.
hmm
Yes, there are plenty of forests. There does seem to be some logging operations, but Tor has been spending some time accessing the local internet
Yeah.
as well, looking at
For
all
sure.
the businesses and stuff. They seem to do an awful lot of recycling.
Mm.
So yes, there is some chopping down of wood, but they don't use it for burning, for power, or anything like that. It's just to replace what they're needing to replace that they can't recycle, and they do
I mean,
seem to
look,
be
I'm-
planting as much, if not more.
I'm sure a smarter man than I would want to get their hands on this kind of power, like the power sources. I mean, because if they don't have to resort to burning fuel, then they got something good. But my science is a D2 and my technology is 0.
He does
I
So,
am
tell
technically
you-
the prince of this planet. Like, I'm sure I could get my hands on some of this stuff.
I mean, that's it if you want. I don't know. What would you use it for?
Everything.
So he does tell you that the planet seems to be mostly powered by helium-3.
Helium-3. Cool.
Helium-3, which is in abundance on Earth's moon.
Guys, we have to beat the dog water out of Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed. We gotta get the moon back.
They're not on the moon anymore, are they?
We're going back to the moon.
We're fixing the
Damn
moon.
it. But yeah,
You're
as the
making
ball
me funny.
begins, you're taken to a set of doors. Each of you are taken to a different set of doors, north, east, south, and west. Cal, you're taken to the east doors, just because that's the one I picked for you.
Yeah.
As they are swept open, somebody introduces you. Do you give them your actual name to be introduced by, or do they just refer to you as the Purple Ranger?
I would hope just the Purple Ranger from Earth.
Then that's what they refer to you as.
Mm-hmm.
Loud voice projects into the room and now entering from the east doors is the Purple Ranger.
It's like a Royal Rumble announcement.
Hopefully less fighting. Yeah.
East door.
The beast from the east.
It's
Take it away.
Triple H. Okay, so Cal is still fully morphed, but over his morphed it is a morph suit, but it's like arm. You know what it is? The Power Ranger outfit.
Thanks for explaining.
I mean, look, it's a jumpsuit. Like, what do you want? It's a onesie. It's a onesie. It's a skin tight onesie that protects you from getting your kicked in. Like,
Oh, this is actual armor, but
he has sort of he's wearing like the pants are sort of like look, I'm bad at describing things. 1 second. Okay. Wearing a long, sort of half flowing but ankle length, so it doesn't drag across the floor. It is a battle robe / skirt that leaves the legs out, but has a long like bit of fabric all the way down to like ankle length in front, and sort of a open cape-ish style, like long jacket to the back. He's got a is it mantle that is like the thing that sits on shoulder and around neck but doesn't really like cape down, that extends into a hood covering the helmet, so he kind of looks like a wizard but also like knight in wizard wear.
You're a wizard.
Battle Mage.
Exactly, with a sword in one hand and a magic spell in the other, and 6 arms actually, all sleeved up.
Yeah, like
The
3
sword
of
in one
them
hand,
have
the magic
swords.
spell in the other, and
The
a
other
mop,
3 have.
and a bucket, and a spade, and a chocolate bar, and
And the middle
And the-
finger.
And all the king's horses and all the king's
the king's
men.
men.
Queens. All the Queen's horses and all
Who
the
said I
Queen's
brought?
men.
Who said I brought them from Triforia?
Where else did you get them from is the question.
Ancient Egypt.
And Q's
Do
just
for
going,
it.
where the hell did he get all those men from?
I found
why
them.
has he not told me about this power before?
He made milkshakes, and the boys came to his
Came
yard.
That's
I-
a fair
all-
Always
point.
came with.
I put one milkshake on the front lawn of the palace, and the men arrived.
Magic.
Yeah, so sort of battle chic wizard robe over the Power Rangers armor, with all 6 arms sleeved up and ready to go.
Nice. Anybody who would like to go next?
We'll go next.
Q, you're entering from we're going to go the south door.
No, I want to go from the west.
Q, you're entering from the west door.
Thank you.
The Dragon of the West.
I
The Wicked
I
Witch
get
of
the
the West.
North Door as the ambassador from the North Pole. I'm just saying it
Okay.
now.
Okay.
And you're arriving by bubble, I hope.
Exactly the same thing. Do you tell them your name, or are you just the Gold Ranger from Earth?
Cue the gold. Cue the Gold Ranger from Earth. Now is my entrance. Sorry, TSM joke. Yeah, cue the Gold Ranger from Earth.
Yeah. So exactly the same thing happens. The door
Yeah.
opens, and someone is there to greet you and to announce your entrance to the room. And in that same booming voice that carries over, you just hear, "And now entering is Q, the Gold Ranger from Earth."
The doors open, and Q isn't stood facing to come through the doors. He's kind of stood and then looks over his shoulder, and then he turns and enters. Oh, it's you. No. Um, he is in a tuxedo gown. So the top is all tuxedo, like tailored beautifully into his, as was described last week, Dorito-shaped body.
The deepest.
Dorito man.
And then from the waist down, it turns into this very large ball gown, which, unlike Cal's garb, does reach the floor and drapes most fabulously. It's kind of the top is, as you would expect, a dinner jacket or a tux to be, but in kind of a very dark, almost flamey, like clarity crimsony red, with slight gold sparkles to it in certain lights, like flecks of dancing gold flame in it. And as it gets down to the dress part, the gown part, uh, it's more of a kind of rich and luxuriant velour kind of fabric. It looks heavy, and it's a very full, tooled gown. So yes, people can't get too close, but he looks phenomenal.
I like that. Was the fact that they can't get too close part of the design? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I think we're going to go with Sarah next then, who does enter from the south door.
North?
Door.
The north. I did mean the north door as well. That is, I swear to God, I meant the north door as well. I'm like, she
Ooh,
enters through the
which of
north door
thought?
and still
The
said south.
fancy south door.
Yeah, the fancy south door. It's so far south that it's actually north.
North.
And as
Congratulations.
the door opens, snow, or at least the illusion of snow, begins to descend. It's not cold. It doesn't gather upon the floor or anything. It's just it just appears to be a projection of some sort.
Because Michael gets into this, it would just be comically hilarious if there were ice effects behind wherever Sarah went. So wherever she is in shot, there are just people
Yep.
walking in the background, pratfalling everywhere. Just in a wake, like trays of drinks going everywhere,
Yep.
completely unaware. Sorry.
Yep, the fashion designer has specifically designed it so that wherever she is, there is like a projection of ice or snow, so people are concerned and like specifically trying to be careful when they walk and slip and stuff by accident.
There's a gritter following behind.
Yep. Sarah, as the official ambassador to the North Pole, do they know your name?
I'm gonna go with Seraphim this time. I haven't used
Seraphim.
it forever. Yeah.
You exactly the same thing. The doors open, obviously the snow, as I said, or the illusion of snow, and you're greeted. And now entering through the north door is Seraphim, the Pink Ranger from Earth. Ambassador to the North Pole,
Thank you.
Ambassador of Earth.
Alright. Yeah, she is wearing a full dress, long sleeve, sort of a deep V. Uh, the top is black and pink, sort of alternating a little bit. And then the dress portion itself is it's got some blue, it's got the red and the green, and just silvery snowflakes all around it. Uh, she's wearing wings because why not? And yes, there is a bow. It just sort of sits like tight around the waist, just slightly off to like the left because it's cute. Damn it.
The fashion designer can be seen in the corner just shaking his head sadly.
Mhm.
that he put the bow on. Just
You're on the snub list.
never
He's
again.
wrong.
I will
The
make
bow
no
is-
dress for this woman. Never again. Peter from the south door. Unfortunately, no. I'm not going to say unfortunately. Do you give them your name? Do you choose to be greeted?
Yeah, I would like Queenie to actually introduce me as like Peter, son of Trey. Like, give me like a full title, Prince of Triforia. Like,
He just can't make his mind up, can he?
It's like, yeah, for a for a guy who turned down the throne.
yeah, he said like I'm just like she's still trying to push it, isn't it? Like,
The whole point of the ball is to present the newfound prince to.
Yep. And to say goodbye to celebrate the Rangers saving the planet and everything else. But it's okay. The door opens and the greeter is there. Peter is there, and he walks in a step behind the Queen Mother. A step behind the Queen Mother, who is introduced and then gestures for Peter to come and step beside her. And as he does, you hear the greeter say, "Now entering from the south door, Peter, son of Trey of Triforia, Prince of Triforia." And there is a silence that takes over the ballroom for a moment. All of the conversation that had been taking place just stops. Doesn't like dwindle down or anything. It just goes from that hub of conversation to just dead silence.
Pete will just kind of look around and just be like,
Pete, you can like feel it in your chest as that anxiety begins to settle in. Everybody's eyes, you can feel them. Maybe not Q's, maybe not Cal's, Kelsey's or Sarah's, maybe. Everybody else's eyes are on you.
Oh, I'm waiting for him to like set on fire or something. I'm watching.
You will start applauding and try and catch Cal's eye
So does
as if
everybody
to,
else.
like, yeah, because
So
he's
does
got more
everybody
hands.
else.
So.
Yeah.
I use rapid movement to create clapping from multiple sides of the place.
Just bouncing around the room, just clapping. The applause, especially after the silence, is deafeningly loud.
I'm gonna give like a whoop whoop. That's just a little bit too loud because like, I scream.
just champagne glasses in the back just shatter.
This is this is not in Cal's character, so he can't do this. But whoop whoop, that's the sound of the police.
You can certainly try.
Yeah, the clapping is it turns the applause turns to cheers. You hear actual toasts going on. What appears to be like the equivalent of champagne being handed out. Some people appear to be crying, not because of you, but genuine sadness at the thought of Trey of Triforia and the fact that he is still missing. But then the fact that you're here, is there finally an answer? Is he gone? You hear like the hubbub of conversation begin to buzz around the room again. And that is where we're going to end.
I didn't
Nope.
get to describe
No, it's
my
not.
outfit.
What's Kelsey wearing?
Oh, we didn't. You didn't get to describe your outfit. I
We have
apologize.
two. We
Michael.
have two more outfit descriptions.
Very
You've not
quickly,
told
I'll,
us what
You
you're wearing
described Peter's
either.
outfit, and then Michael, you described Kelsey's outfit. Although I did think you would have described Kelsey's outfit when you described your own. I'm just throwing it out there.
I was giving you Kelsey's outfits. I got nothing. So
No, that's
So-
on you.
Pete is wearing like
I'll do it.
formal like royal garb, like like when the king's wearing the jacket with all the medals and that on it.
Yeah.
But it's like
Ceremonial.
it's like a tailored pure white suit that's got gold like Triforian sigilling all over it.
Bad choice. White suit for a ball, bad choice. You know that there's going to be bolognese.
White Ranger. Like
Don't worry. I'll eat all the bolognese, so he doesn't have to worry. Just whoa,
Yeah.
hey.
Al's just like scooping up the bolognese as he's flying around the room now, just to save you from future embarrassment.
it's
I'm shoveling it into the pockets of this robe, absolutely ruining it just to spite that bastard that put me in it.
it's a full like three-piecey kind of suit, but the like waist jacket thing it's still fabric, but it looks more like a traditional suit of armor underneath, and then his torso is still adorned with the dragon shield. And I'd like to, if I can make a little caveat, as like everyone's applauding and that Queenie will come over and just whisper into like Peter's ear, just one final touch, and she'll touch the shield, and then the emblem of the House of Triforia will like appear in the center of the shield.
Yay!
what are the spider webs?
The
Peter will
spider
just shoot a
webs
glare at
The
Sarah.
spider webs are like on the inside portions of the legs and on the inside portions of the
Yeah,
arms, so they're
it's
kind of
sliding.
hidden until he moves, and then you can see just the faintest hint of the spider webs.
Every time he reaches for something,
Yep.
Thwip!
comes out.
Every time he
The jacket
every
just goes.
Every time he extends his arm, it reveals the word "thwip" written across the entire
Instruction
undersleeve of the
unclear.
jacket.
He has web shooters for the evening.
Whip.
I will say I have found something that I think works really well for Kelsey, so I do apologise, but I'm going to steal the Kelsey one.
Dang, if you must.
Yeah, it's like
Does it have bells on it?
It doesn't have bells on it, but Kelsey steps in wearing a gown, no shoulders, like off the shoulders.
What happened to her shoulders?
I knew you was going to say that. That's why I said off the shoulders straight after. Literally, as soon as I said it, I was like, no, because I know what's going to happen. Off the shoulders, no sleeves, no gloves or anything like that. But the gown appears to be made of feathers. The feathers themselves they're a riot of colour. Mostly reds, oranges, yellows, pinks, to a degree that they look like fire as she's moving around. They look like she is a phoenix. She is a bird that could burst into flames and be born again. Parts of the dress that catch light are gemstones, different gemstones that have been sort of sewn into where the feathers join. So they're specifically designed to catch and reflect the light to add to that effect. So as she comes in and does a bit of a twirl, there's a whole sparkle of just colour that dances across her. She is wearing high heels though, which is probably only like the third time you've seen her doing so.
Yeah.
Make an acrobatics check.
Roll a bolognese check.
Roll for rolling it.
Yeah.
bolognese check is you just throw a d20 into a plate of bolognese.
How
Like a
much
dish.
sauce splashes up is the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, that is the White Ranger coming out
Coming
to
out more.
coming out ball.
He's coming out. Congratulations.
I was trying to think of a different way to say it, but I think that is the only way to
Entrance!
say it. No, it's too late. It's happened. It's been said twice, 3 times really. If you can count
Wait,
the
is
fact
this
that
a
I said it
cotillion
twice.
now?
What's the
Yes?
difference between a ball and a cotillion?
I don't
Okay.
know.
I don't
Spelling.
Okay, cool. I'm glad that look, certified from Jay, yeah.
Yeah, one will win in Scrabble, the other one just kind of helps.
On that note, as previously mentioned, that is where we're going to end the session. Yeah. Favorite moment for yourself. Favorite moment for another player. We're gonna pick on. We're not picking, but we're gonna ask Michael.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not Michael, okay? It doesn't work. Michael, who plays Peter in that
But
game.
he's half Michael.
He is
No.
half a Michael.
There's too many halves of a Michael. This is going disastrously
There's
wrong.
exactly 2 halves.
We're just 3 Michaels. It's fine.
3 little mics from school are we filled the brim with girls.
Favorite moment for yourself and favorite moment for another player. Michael, who plays Peter.
Favorite moment for me was probably the little reveal at the end, just because, who doesn't like getting applauded? Thank you, Q. But someone else, I can't even narrow it down to one thing. Just practically everything Jay has done so far this session. My favorite thing was Sarah saying, yeah, some people don't pull it off very well, and Jay just
Sorry, what?
excuse me.
You got something to say, mother?
Who are some people?
Yeah, I did think we were in trouble. I'm not gonna lie, especially when the designer started joining in. I was like, oh.
When
He
you're in
says
hell,
that-
walk faster.
He says the designer like it's not him playing the characters.
I have to play the character as they would be played. Is that not what the players say? I'm only
When he
playing my
turns up
character
dead, you'll
as he
find
would
out.
act. Yeah.
Under mysterious circumstances involving a gold power weapon.
And you get an
Love
upshift to that.
Jeff.
And you get an upshift to that because of me. So I'm helping.
I would just like to say as well, Sarah, do not be surprised if you do not get healed by Peter in our next encounter. Do not be surprised if maybe a stray cannon shot goes astray and
Cannon shot.
Yeah.
I can one-shot you. Don't forget this.
No,
All right.
baby dragons there.
All right, little Miss Five
I can
Elf.
one-shot Baby
one-shot
Dragon,
you.
and then you.
You gotta survive me hitting you though.
You gotta catch me.
And
Yes,
this is why
yes,
you
girls,
don't do
you're both the
PvP in
prettiest.
E20, people.
Auto crit 1 cannon shot, and you'd be
And-
down.
Michael, who plays Sarah. Favorite moment for yourself, favorite moment for another player.
I mean, for myself, it's definitely not throwing shade at Q.
I didn't do that.
But did I? Who knows?
No.
You'll know.
When you deal with the comeuppance.
When you pay for your words.
And someone else. I think I gotta give it to Cal's sociology program for Triforia. How do they live here?
Yeah. Is this as good as it looks like?
What the hell's going on?
Do I retire here? Panic, who plays Cal? My brain forgot the names. I was going to say Cal, who plays Panic, but that's the wrong way around.
Yeah, no. Cal doesn't play me. God, if only. I'd be a much better person. My favorite moment for Cal was his his visceral discomfort with the way Triforian society works. It's like,
They're
I
happy
don't
taken care of.
like this.
By all accounts, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I want to just personally throw in my personal favourite moment for Cal, which was more a personal favourite moment for Panic, I suppose, was it took me far too long to realise you're just talking about octopus. Or octopi. Yeah.
Literally took me a minute, and it's too long
that
for
was too
someone who
long.
loves eating them.
Yeah, that was too long. I was just like, yeah.
And I know about my cephalopodians.
The flipperdo.
And then, and my favorite moment for someone else, probably Peter being super flip floppy and Am I the Prince of Triforia?
Right.
What's happening?
Make your mind up, dude.
No, my idea behind that was that that's Queenie's doing.
My man's out here writing scripts. And then not giving them to the person.
Last but not least, Jay, who plays Mercutio Andronicus. Quinn. I saw the message in chat. I don't know if everybody else did.
I thought.
Yeah, I did have a favorite moment for Q, and it's gone. So, a favorite moment for someone else would have been just watching Sarah turn into Bridezilla whilst dress shopping. Yeah, Danger for Robinson. For Q, I'm not sure. He didn't really do anything with anyone else. It was just on his own the whole time.
Really no mates.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my favorite moment was being where you are not.
Well, he's had enough of this team.
No, probably his reveal moment rather than just walking through doors like a normal person.
I thought it was just like, oh, you're
Oh,
witnessing
hello.
me.
Literally like on a sitcom where they're going through the cast.
Yes.
And starring Mercutio as the Gold Ranger.
I did like
Everywhere
the one
you
posted in the
look.
chat, which
Which?
was descending on the moon,
Yeah.
lowered from a ceiling on a crescent moon.
On a crescent moon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When the
100%.
moon hits your eye.
That would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
And Amore. May the power protect you!
Thanks everybody
The
for
end.
watching. We'll see you this time. Or
Fade to
sometime.
black. Cut out.
Fade to black. Cut out.
Get us the hell out of here.